So, ihr seht auch gleich was. Freue ich mich? Ja, schon. So. Büchergeschäft. Genau, also letztes Mal haben wir das komische Gemälde bekämpft. The shambler turned out to be much more than an artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins, as a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to send it back into the painting. He later discovered that the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Xanas by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the Nameless Bookstore. Pierce decides to pay the library a visit. Okay. Oh.
Where's the bookseller? Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
This practical work written by Sigmund Freud for psychologists describes the techniques of analytical interpretation of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares. Okay.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth. Dark water history. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the water surrounding dark water. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because, up till then, the region was a favored refuge for cetaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. Jo, was gibt's? Habe ich eigentlich wieder Punkte zum Verteilen? Ja, gut. Randomizer, ja, können wir machen. Werden wir aber einen recht einfachen machen, der nicht allzu lang dauert. Aber Randomizer können wir schon machen, ja. Dark Water History, Puritan Colony, led by Reverend John Wickwood, settled on the island during the 17th 18th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors that disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. Medizin wieder. Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection. Noch ein Medizinzeug. Oh. Would you read the book? Ja.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
This collection catalogs and classifies creatures that I had never heard of. Divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work on the bestiary of the myth. Without giving details on the mythology to which it refers, its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. Huh.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What the... Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
So if I find some memoirs, there will be no doubt that I'm in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. Funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. Following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions. Where life and study combine in the Greek world.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Key of Relier. This key that bears the Elder sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion, hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. Okay. Drei Zahlen.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Collection of essays, American folklore. Okay.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Text claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of this people, and moreover that our alphabets derived from the Frisian language.
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions.
Arkham?
Never heard of him.
Nostradamus. Okay. Das ist die 6.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Okay, das ist kein Grieche.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
König Solomon. Solomon Grieche? Weiß es nicht.
Arkham editions.
Arkham.
Never heard of him.
Okay.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Der hört sich griechisch an.
Another volume by Arkham editions. Arkham editions.
Alter.
Never heard of him.
American Folklore, okay, dann ist es.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide.
Oh.
I should perhaps listen to them.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
Ha! Also die 5 waren die roten Edelsteine auf dem Kelch. Die 3 oder 4, ich weiß es nicht mehr, waren die weißen Spielsteine, die noch auf dem Schachbrett waren, und das dritte, also die 9, war einfach die 9, die er in der Nachricht gesagt hat. Ui. sind wir wieder im Krankenhaus. In Amos' bookstore, Pierce traced the trial of an attempted burglary. He discovered that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. Pierce opened the bookseller's safe to find what the letter and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there. A book covered in human skin lied inside, irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected onto another body. Ah, okay. Na. Na.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down, his skin losing its color, his body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. After inhaling chemicals.
I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. "30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
Der wird zu einem Fischmann.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
Bis
I'm
gleich,
sure
Potter.
you'll find an explanation. You have to.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects. Chronic insomnia. Like half the island.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch Donovan?
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while.
And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show. Dr. Colden?
I don't have any business in the boiler room.
Doch, hab ich.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly. Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Meine Meinung... So Berge des Wahnsinns. Es gibt ein Brettspiel. Also technisch gesehen gibt es schon ein Spiel dazu. Aber die Geschichte selbst kenne ich noch nicht. Daher kann ich da nicht viel sagen.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
Wieso gehen dir ihre Finger durch die Schüssel durch? anhören. Jo, werde ich mal machen.
We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, but Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment. We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks. The door to the boiler room is locked. Let's hope I can go through the administration office. The operating room is never accessible after an operation. This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Oh.
Dr. Colden, we need you at once in Dormitory B.
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be having trouble with his IV.
I'll see to it right away.
And the family of Mrs. Harding is asking to see her medical file.
I'll never understand why it's so hard to see patients' files around here.
Rules are rules. See, with Dr. Fuller, he's in charge.
Wieso
Anyhow,
hat die einen
they're still
texanischen
waiting, and
Akzent?
I don't think they'll leave until they get what they want.
Understood. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. A man has been brought up from the basement.
Oh. What state is he in now?
You should go see for yourself, Doctor.
The key to the boiler room is missing. Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him.
Dr. Colden.
Hey.
Ethan,
Marie,
what are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
Was gegen Texan? Nee, aber... Weiß nicht... Das kommt mir jetzt nicht so wie so ein texanisches Gebiet vor. Dass sich so einer auf so eine Insel verirrt.
You're not here for treatment, right?
Am I so obvious?
Only to me. I know you worry about me.
I trust you. I'm happy to see you.
Me too, Ethan. Is that all?
Well, there might be something else. I'm not sure.
Tell me.
Wie Spotify.
I have nightmares.
Nee.
They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure all this out. Everyone in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh, There's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Ja, vielleicht weil wir nur zwei arbeitende Ärzte hier haben.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
Bist du zufällig verwandt mit dem? Und ihr habt genau das gleiche Gesicht.
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory.
Na und?
Please. The fewer interruptions there are, the faster I'll be finished.
Die Cloud bestimmt. Extreme-Dienst. Extreme. Eigentlich nicht unbedingt. Gruselkabinett. Ah. Okay. Ja, ich schau mal. Irgendwie schaffe ich es schon, das mal anzuhören. So, mir wurde gesagt, irgendwer braucht mich. Block A ist hier. Block B. Okay.
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
Bei dem gehen die Beine
His
durchs...
perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
Genau.
I'll attend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Ja, genau. Genau so tauscht man Sachen aus.
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Das ist aber nicht schön.
Ah, the whaling station.
Eh?
What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back?
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
Okay.
Dr. Colden?
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney. What is the boiler room key doing here?
Weiß nicht.
The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. Intoxication from breathing organic vapors. Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination.
Will den nicht spritzen?
He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
You did good work. The tranquilizer is kicked in. Now you can disinfect and bandage his wounds.
Thank you, Doctor. And as to his weight loss?
I'll prescribe an antifungal treatment for his dysgeusia. In the meantime, feed him intravenously.
It'll be done.
Ja.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
Ach, der geht's wieder gut.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
Ach, wer weint denn da schon wieder? Hast du dich endlich drum gekümmert? Nee, anscheinend nicht. Nom nom nom.
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
Oh ja. Ist nicht schlecht.
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
Jo, boy. Ui. Okay,
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
What?
Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
Oh, die mag ich jetzt schon nicht.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
The key to the boiler room.
Good.
All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait.
Yeah, fuck Donovan. Ach komm, Frau.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
Oh.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
Is everything all right, Ethan?
Yeah, I know I should go.
I will work until late.
Oh. All right.
Der hätte mir helfen können. Ist endlich fertig? Gut. Oh. Ich weiß nicht.
I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
Dr. Colden, might there be a problem with the water?
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go. And hold your tongue this time.
Ja, die ist schon gar nicht mehr da. Gut.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here. Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something.
Ta-da.
Patient files. I was right.
He recorded his thoughts about one of the many psychanalysis sessions he submitted Sarah Hawkins to. Oh. Interessant.
The Stendhal syndrome. Of course. This is where Fuller found his diagnosis for Francis Sanders.
Subjects display mental disorders linked to an exposure to works of art.
Conclusions. Session number 17. Patient? Sarah Hawkins. The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusory nature of what she calls the mythos. It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the price that comes with her exceptional gifts.
Why is Ethan on medication?
Warum ist da ein Schuh drin?
This finger belonged to a woman. Why keep it here?
Okay.
Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
At first, I presumed that her blood was the key. But I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
Then James came, irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection. I must go back to the basement.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
Uh-oh.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief! Or I swear I'll shoot!
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles Hawkins.
He's dead!
No. He was here for a very specific item.
Oh, no.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you. Now you won't be able to escape his will. What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait! No one knows the occult better than me. You might need my help.
All right. All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Let's meet later at the Hawkins mansion. Now go! Rescue the doctor!
Thank you, Drake.
Ja gut. Das ist ein guter Punkt zum Pausieren. Joa. Auf jeden Fall ziemlich interessant. Das Spiel an sich fühlt sich ein bisschen sehr wie ein interaktiver Film einfach an. ist ganz, ganz interessant. Also ich hätte an sich nicht gedacht. Ach, gucken wir uns das halt noch an. Also an sich hätte ich nicht gedacht, dass das so dialoglastig und so
I
weiter
pray
ist.
that Colden is really here and alive.
Aber ich finde es nicht schlecht. Das ist auf jeden Fall eine das ist auf jeden Fall recht, ja, erwachsene Art, sozusagen. Mit dem Cthulhu und anderem Thema-Zeug umzugehen. Ich meine, es gab ja vorher schon Cthulhu-Spiele und so weiter. Oder halt, ja, Lovecraft-Thema-Spiele sozusagen. So wie es hier ist, finde ich es eigentlich ziemlich gut gemacht. Dark Corners of the Earth. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob ich den gespielt habe. Ich glaube aber nicht.